More ooze than a chronic stutterer attempting to sing the Supreme's Baby Love. More ooze than a firework factory staff party. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles, Governor. My name's John, his name's Andy. Looking out a dirty old window. Down below, cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here alone, and I wonder why. More on that later, but first, Andy, my friend, how the devil are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Fair to middling. So you've got a track for me to listen to. Please share it with the class.
Yeah, I've got a band that I know you haven't heard of. It's an interesting band. They're called Dexter and the Moonrocks. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a very bad cartoon from the 70s.
Yeah, it does. There you go. So you have heard of them before. The track is called "Sad in Carolina," and this is a from I want to say that this is a polished up version of a live performance that they performed down in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area down in Texas. Kind of probably gives you a glimpse into where they're from. But yeah, I would love you to give this a peep and a listen, and let me know what you made of Dexter and the Moonrocks.
The evil rivals to Josie and the Pussycats.
Sure, sure.
Oh, it's that first few seconds reminded me of Start of Autonomy by Buzzcocks. Wipe that from my mind. Interesting knitwear action. Okay, let's see how this goes.
I guess I'm just too much to take.
Oh, this is really nice, actually. So you got huge vibes, see right there, from Foo Fighters and obviously Nirvana as well. Sort of like this dirty cousin of Cobain they're leading the way. And they've got the same dynamics in the song structures, the quite loud, actions, and sort of dropping down and in again. But so that's nothing particularly new. It's well done. But what makes it really interesting is these harmonies, these oohs. Ooh. It's really, really nice. It's catchy as hell. It's quite poppy, which is a nice sort of counter to the sort of grungy-ish type music. And what it also does, and the songwriters have known this since the early 60s, is that it's so sing-alongable and likable. And you can hear this song for the first time. You don't have to know the words. So you just can sing along to ooh, 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 very easily, which is a really nice touch. Yeah, I'm liking this.
Outside in Carolina, looking for a way to fight you. I'll spin it around in circles.
military marching.
I feel like I've grown to be a waste of your space. I feel like I'm sick of you being stuck in your ways. But you still complain. You're just too much to take. Outside in Carolina.
I have to say, sorry, it's nothing to do with the song, but that's abject failure. If you go crowd surfing, you do not want to end up at the front being helped out by security. It's pathetic. You should disappear head first at the back of the crowd and then emerge 10 minutes later, triumphant, right at the front again. Anyway.
Looking for a way to find you. I'm spinning around in circles. You know I'm not that verbal.
Nice. I really liked all of that little bit there. It's lovely guitar action. I like the fill and then like a half-second pause and then back into it. It's such a short song. Let's go back. I have no idea. Oh, there's the failure from the crowd surf. Let's try from there. I'm sure I spotted someone wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt in the crowd as well, which is...
I'm spinning around in circles. You know I'm not that verbal. Outside in Carolina.
Nice strums.
Looking for a way to find you.
And there's an Alanis Morissette t-shirt as well. This is incredible.
I'm spinning around in circles. You know I'm not that verbal.
You know what? I got so carried away that I completely forgot, even though it's there in front of my eyes, that they're playing live. That's great performance as well. Yeah, that was just immediate, catchy, very easy to like. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but yeah, 2024. Yeah, yeah. What's not to like? This is excellent. Um, let's go back and find out a bit more from Andy.
All right, so you were back from your trip down to Fort Worth. What did you make of the song, the performance, the band?
Fort Worth. I think this has nothing to do with this, but I seem to remember on the back of my copy of The Watchmen, the graphic novel version, when it first came out, they had quotes from different um, periodicals reviewing it, saying this is like massive step forward in comics. You know, the Alan Moore's writing is amazing, blah blah blah. And then there's one at the bottom that says something like this is evil and should be banned, and children should never see this. And it was Fort Worth, you know, whatever, from Texas, and they even put that on the back of it. And ever since then, I've had this impression of Fort Worth. I'm sure it's a lovely place, but there you go. So this song, all right, starts with a drum beat. The first, like, 8 seconds or something, it sounds like the drum beat sounds just like Autonomy by the Buzzcocks, which is the track for our closing credits, but not the start bit of the drums. But just it's a little tiny snippet of that. Oh, that's nice. But anyway, more on that later, as they say. So then we get this little sort of rocking riff joins with the bass, and then we're into the song. Now, north of where I live, there is a river that runs down past York all the way to the Humber Estuary. And I mention this because it is spelt Ouphar. S-E. And that's what we got throughout this song, a veritable river of ooze. More ooze than a chronic stutterer attempting to sing the Supreme's Baby Love. More ooze than a firework factory staff party. And what these ooze did, apart from being a variable shipping route from central Yorkshire to the coast and then onwards to mainland Europe, is they added like a pop sensibility
Yeah.
and an easy to sing along quality.
Mhm.
And as I think I said in reaction, songwriters from the early 60s realized this, and the genius of this is that you do not need to learn the words to ooze or ahs or la la las. So if you're hearing this for the first time and you like it, you can just join in straight away.
Yeah, the engagement is immediate. Yeah, yeah.
It is. And this is what this was. This was immediate, this song. Also, if you're a band hard at work, mining away at the coalface of guitar riffs, and you suddenly hit a rich seam of 90s grunge stroke of alt rock, you've hit pay dirt, and that's what we have here. They've taken some inspiration from Foo Fighters and their antecedent band as well, in terms of the sound and also the dynamic structure of the track as well.
Yes.
All of which, along with the ooze, river and otherwise, make this all very easy to like. Visually, it's quite interesting as well. And there's I presume that this gig was New Year, just after the holidays, and they're all wearing knitwear gifted by aged aunties.
I was
particularly
waiting for your comment on the jumpers. I'm like, he's going to use the word jumper. I got, the over-under on that, and I was just waiting for it. Also,
I mean,
why
yes.
I chose to wear this.
Yes, sweater rock. Yes.
Yeah.
I particularly admire the drummer's diamond pattern tank top. And
Yes.
for
His
our British,
unencumbered.
yes, for our British viewers, the first person that I can remember ever wearing a tank top without any garment underneath was Frank Butcher when he was running the Queen Vic with Peggy. That will make sense to a lot of people and none to you. Anyway, come and have a butcher's. Anyway, so after the ooze, we get the sort of low-key chugging verse with the riffs that come in and out. And they do it standard, but it's really nice. When they come back in with the riff, that's when the drummer does the cymbal action as well. So it emphasizes it, and then we go quiet again. It's really nice. Well done. A path well trodden, but still well done. Then we get the chorus with the title. It says, I think I got this. I'm sad in Carolina, looking for a way to find ya. Spinning around in circles. I'm not that verbal, which is interesting for a singer to say that. But anyway,
Some irony in there.
yeah. Second verse, it's almost at this point a militaristic marching chug, which I quite like, and that resolves with a drum roll into the chorus. The drummer starts throwing in some really nice, brief but nice fills, and then we get to the guitar solo. Of a sort, is short, but it's extremely pleasing. Sounds great. And again, they do that thing at the end where just as he's finishing it, another drum fill, half a second pause, and then back into the chorus. Always a winner. Again, nothing, that's not been done before, but very pleasing. And they rock out the chorus to the end. This is a really good live performance. You said it's been tweaked with I don't know how much, but I really liked it. I love the sound of the guitars. I love the dynamics and the structure of the song, and I really like the drummer. He did some really nice fills as well.
Yeah.
And I guess you could call this grunge pop. And interestingly, I was thinking about it. They do remind me of Buzzcocks, not in their sound, but in their approach with the vocal harmonies. And they were doing for grunge what Buzzcocks did for punk in terms of popping it up in that way and making it sort of melodic and catchy. And it's really good. I noticed at the bottom it said 2024.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to hear something like this being put out now. That's great. I also have to mention the crowd. I did mention in the reaction the abject failure of the crowd surfer, because the last thing you want to do is end up in the arms of security. You want to be all the way to the back, disappear headfirst, and then emerge 10 minutes later, triumphant right at the front again. Not being handed out and march around the front and the side. Oh, man. And I also spotted, I wasn't looking, but I did spot at the front an Iron Maiden shirt, which I thought interesting. And then when I think it was just after the solo or whatever, they went to the back and there was some idiot dancing with a helmet on, like a motorcycle helmet. And next to him was someone wearing a Alanis Morissette t-shirt, which I
Yeah,
just found unbelievable.
yeah.
Um, Someone just been dragged along by their mate, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I will say this song was great, really easy to like. Yeah, and I enjoyed it.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you liked it. It is a really fun song, and they're a really interesting, cool new band. Point of clarification, not a motorcycle helmet. It was actually an astronaut's helmet with like
What was it?
flowers
I
adorning
saw
it.
there's some embellishments on it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Whatever it is, that person would have annoyed me if I would have been in the crowd as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
the helmet would have saved him when I punched him, so fair
yeah,
enough.
there you go. It's good protection. Um, so the whole astronaut thing is a running theme throughout their what they're very short-lived, sort of like aesthetic because Dexter and the Moonrocks, they kind of have a way of describing their music, which we will get into. Um, and the name of the album ties into that as well, which you probably didn't see, but it was sort of on the projected backdrop behind them as they were performing. So let me get into a little bit about the band. I will say I agree with everything you said about this, and that was my experience when I first heard this track. I think I first heard these guys maybe like last year or something like that. They Foo Fighters. Good God, do I hear Foo Fighters in this?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
were there was a certain point where the guitarist hit this chord, and the drummer is doing this hi hat work, this really rapid
yeah.
hi hat work, and it was like Everlong. It was like
Mm.
hearing a little snippet of Everlong. Now the rest of the song didn't sound like Everlong at all,
No.
but for like 4 seconds maybe, I was like, God damn, I feel like I'm listening to The Color and the Shape right now, which is like
Yes.
one of my favorite
That
albums.
that period, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And you're right. There's also shades of their predecessor that comes through in this as well. I mean, Christ, you can't look at the lead singer and not think of what if Kurt Cobain didn't get into heroin because he's obviously like a well-built lad. He's kind of a big
Yeah.
dude. So it's like, but with the long hair and the kind of like almost breaking voice that he has going on there, I was like, damn, dude, that reminds me so much of Kurt.
Yeah, instead of heroin, he got into pastries.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yes, yes. He grew
Good
up
for
around
him.
like in the house of a confectionery instead of a broken home. But yeah, yeah, interesting stuff. Um, they hail from nearby Abilene, Texas. So I should say, generally speaking, Texas is fucking huge. But yeah, they come from Abilene, Texas. Dexter and the Moonrocks. They've sort of carved a unique niche in the music scene with their innovative blend of Southern alternative, red dirt country, and alternative rock, creating a genre their fans affectionately call Western space grunge. So again, the outer space sort of illusion explains why you see people walking around in goddamn astronaut helmets. The band's consisting of lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist James Tufts, lead guitarist and vocal harmonizer Ryan Anderson, bassist Ty Anderson, and drummer and vocal harmonizer Fox. He just goes by Fox. He's got a first name, but they just call him Fox. They combine influences from a wide range of artists, including Nirvana and Foo Fighters, surprise to nobody, Smashing Pumpkins, Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Whiskey Myers, Weezer, Radiohead, Tyler Childers, Arctic Monkeys, Coulter Wall, Kings of Leon, and Turnpike Troubadours. So all over the
Ah, yes, yes, a little bit of Kings of Leon, Leon in there as well, actually.
yeah,
From
yeah,
but the sort of the bit when they were changing, which I don't like, but
fair.
I recognize it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's there. Um, So, a former fry cook, oil field operator, concrete surface decorator, and kids baseball coach, sounds like the beginning of a joke, met up in a small town in West Texas and started playing country western music together, as one does when you grow up in a small town in West Texas. But something didn't feel right, so their roots in country began to cross-pollinate with rock and grunge music they heard growing up around their parents when they were young. So in 2021, the band self-released their first EP entitled This is Dexter and the Moonrocks. Pretty succinct name there. And 2 years later, they released their second EP, a 7-track output entitled Live from Dexter's Basement. As they honed their identity as a band, their drummer, Fox, the baseball coach, took the helm of their social media, exponentially growing their followers. But they quickly proved they weren't just building a passive online community. Their streams started to sharply increase, and their shows started selling out. So curious followers became fans of the music, and 2 years after their first release, with 675,000 TikTok followers and more than 50 million streams, Dexter and the Moonrock became something none of them ever in a million years dreamed possible. So, a quote: coming from a small town with only 700 people and regularly selling that many tickets in cities all over the nation is just insane, says Tufts, the lead singer. Another quote: beats the hell out of pulling unit, says bassist Ty Anderson, the former oil field operator. But it wasn't just the guys in the band who couldn't believe what was happening. The band had caught the attention of Severance Records, a newly launched Nashville-based imprint of Big Loud Rock Records. The rapidly growing fan base on social media, coupled with the more frequent sold-out shows, convinced the label to sign the band as their flagship act. On July 19th of 2024, Dexter and the Moonrocks released their label debut, aptly titled Western Space Grunge. There you are. Including the lead single Sad in Carolina, an angsty rock track that quickly drew attention on alternative radio. Grunge and country are honestly so similar, says Fox. Look at Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt by Nine Inch Nails. Both speak to the oppressed and the depressed. Country with twang and grunge with bite. A pair of boots can mean cowboy or combat. We are a huge fan of artists like Zach Bryan, Tyler Childers, and Noah Kahan. And when you take the sound, when you take that sound and plug it into amps with electric guitars, you get Dexter and the Moonrocks. We took a bet on ourselves, and it's paying off immensely, he continues. We believed we had something special, and if we could get people to pay attention, they'd fall in love, and we did just that. It feels like a fever dream, and it's definitely helped the health of my knees, says Ty's cousin, guitarist Ryan Anderson, who never plans to decorate concrete again. So there you are. You have all of them in their former occupations. When asked about the EP's title, the way their music is described, Western Space Grunge, in an interview with Afterglow, Fox would respond, it's kind of just taking some of the Southern cowboy roots and then making it a little more hardcore or alternative. Just mixing, Texas red dirt that we all were raised around and the 90s rock and dad rock and grunge and mixing it together in a very cool way. Because we have, a country guitarist. I play very hard rock drums, and James has a very spaced out, beautiful alternative way he sings. And so it kind of just all meshes together into that. Over at Album of the Year, the EP sits at an aggregated score of 78 based on user feedback. So, let's jump into these lyrics really quickly. I don't want to stay if you're going to treat me this way. I don't want to stay if you're going to leave me someday. But I can't complain. I guess I'm just too much to take. I'm sad in Carolina, looking for a way to find you. I'm spinning around in circles. You know I'm not that verbal, no. I feel like I've grown to be a waste of your space. I feel like I'm sick of you being stuck in your ways. But you still complain. Yeah, you're just too much to take. I'm sad in Carolina, looking for a way to find you. I'm spinning round in circles. You know I'm not that verbal. I'm sad in Carolina, looking for a way to find you. I'm spinning round in circles. You know I'm not that verbal. No. So, in a review of the track for Substream magazine, Logan White would write, Sad in Carolina starts with a clean, captivating guitar intro, drawing listeners into this world before it drives right into a powerful and anthemic chorus. This melodic earworm is paired with a sharp narrative that states fear of broken communication, abandonment, and the insecurity of feeling undervalued, with the distance preventing its rectification. With the straightforward arrangement, the song allows the raw emotion of the lyrics to shine, creating an experience that's both relatable and surprisingly uplifting. So that is Sad in Carolina by Dexter and the Moonrocks. This is a band that over the last year plus, I've really been waiting to hear more from, because sort of came out with just those EPs. Now we've got this full album. So I'm probably going to bring some other stuff of theirs to the table in the future in 2025. And I'm really glad to hear that you got this sort of, as we have with a couple tracks recently over the last 6 weeks or so, come up with some really cool stuff that's come out, but late 2023, 2024. That's kind of given us oh, this is good. I'm glad that people are still out here doing good stuff with music, and so yeah, it's kind of a Star Wars New Hope kind of thing going on here. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Guys out there in the listening audience, let us know what you thought of Dexter and the Moonrocks. This track, Sad in Carolina, if you're familiar with any of their other works, if there's songs that by them that we should check out on the channel, please offer them up. If there's other bands or acts that you heard shades of in this, that we should perhaps check out on the channel, please, whatever you have to offer, comment field is there for a reason. We love hearing from you guys. Also, if you haven't yet done so, please like, share, and or subscribe to the channel. We really, really do appreciate that. Anything to kind of help bolster our numbers and bring in new opinions, new ears, new voices to the channel. We really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, for getting us to where we've gotten to today, and hopefully where we'll get to tomorrow. So all that being said, hopefully John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.